and we are back to reviewing strategies on Envision Math. And today we're on topic 1-3, which is decimals to the thousandths place. So in our previous lesson, we were in 1-2, and we were talking about on our place value, we're talking about our whole numbers. So all these numbers that you will see to the left of our decimal point. So here's our decimal point. I like to write with my eraser by accident. So there's my decimal point. Everything to the left right here, that is a whole number. Those are whole numbers. I'm sorry. Those are our whole numbers right there. Okay. Now everything to the right, those are our decimal places. I'm still writing. But if you look to the right where I have an arrow already drawn, these are our decimal places. This is what we're going to deal with today. So the first place that you'll get to the right of your decimal point is the tenths place. Right after that, you have your hundredths place and our thousandths place. So just like all our numbers that are whole numbers to the left, they keep going and going. Same thing happens with our decimal places to the right. But today we are just going to deal with to the thousandths place, okay? So we have our thousandths place, we have our tens, hundredths, thousandths. And if you see the difference, they have that THS on there. And if you also notice, there is no oneths place. It goes straight from the decimal point to the tenths. The ones place starts in the place value on the left, which are our whole numbers. That means it's the whole of one of something. These mean on to the left that this is your parts of something, okay? Those are our parts. So we will come back to this place value chart, so keep yours near. All right, now I want you to just look at your decimals. You have your chart here with your decimals. You have your fractions and the number name. So if I have 0.1, that is also the same as the fraction 1/10. There's your number name right there, 1/10. Then if I have 0.01, our fraction is 1/100th. 1/100th is our number name. And if you have 0.001, we have 1,000. So that lets us know that we are in the 1,000th place. Okay. So when we look at these numbers right here, let's see where, let's go back to our place value chart. And I'm actually going, oh no, we won't. Look at these decimals. And let's just say that I have my favorite number here, 444. Now, if you see, those numbers are the same in all of our decimal places. So that means that the number in the tenths place is compared to the hundredths. So this tenths place is 10 times the amount of the hundredths place. 10 times, okay? Now, if we were going to the right, then that means that our hundredth place, so that would be 4 hundredths, is 1/10 as great as 100th. 1/10 as great as 100th, okay? And the same if we did 100th is 10 times as great as, is 1/10 as great as 1,000th. Okay, so when you are going from to your left, you're going to think of 1/10. And when you're going to your right, you're going to think of 10 times. So let's do this to the left, 1/10 as great. To the right, 10 times as great. All right, so let's do some examples here. And we're going to keep that chart up there. Let me do some erasing so we don't get those mixed up in what we need to do. So we're going to erase those, erase that. Okay, so if I had, I'm going to start with a decimal and we're going to make it into a fraction. I want you to just really get used to these numbers. So if I have 305 thousandths, that is the same as me saying 0.305 5. And the way I would read that, I like to think of it this way, is if you're reading this as a whole number, but the last number that you have is the place that you say. So that would come off as 305 thousandths. You wouldn't even have to say 0, okay? 305 thousandths. Let's do another one. Let's say if we had 3 over 10. I'm going to read that as 3/10. 3/10. You got the 10. We know that's the 10th place. 3/10 is also equal to 0.3. Okay? 3/10. 3/10. They say the same thing in two different ways. One's using fractions, one's using decimals. Let's do one more example. So if I had 17 over 100, or 17 hundredths. And if you say it that way, you really think like, hundredth. I know that is 2 places to the right of my decimal point. So if I have 0 and we have 17 hundredths. If you look, that 7 falls in the hundredth place, tenths, hundredths. Now that we've done them from fraction to decimal, we can also think of the same thing from decimal to fraction. And I'm sorry, I just decided let's keep that chart up there to help us. And let's see now. What if I have 0.009? I'm going to read that the correct way in my head, and I'm going to say, well, there's just a 9 there, and that 9 falls in the thousandths place. And I'm going to think that is 9 thousandths. So I know that I need to have 1,000 in my denominator. Same number, 9 thousandths, 9 thousandths. But what if I had, this one could be a little tricky sometime. What if I had 11 thousandths? I'm just going to start it that way, and we're going to go to the decimal this time. So that one, I know that I have no number in my ones place, but I have 11 in my thousandths. And that I know that second one that's really in my ones place on 11 needs to be in my thousandths place. So 11 thousandths. Okay. One more. Let's do 0.2. I can read that as 2. It's in the tenths place. So 2/10 is also equal to the fraction 2 over 10, which is also read 2/10. Okay, those are some really good examples of changing my decimal form to my fraction form and being able to read that word as a number. So remember, you can rewind this video, you can pause it, you can do whatever you need to. And if you have any questions, please comment below. Thank you.